Avinav Sood from the industry side, Business Advisory Industry Consultant, SAS India. Avinav Sood.
Thank you so much for being present here and allowing me the opportunity to come and present to you people. And thank you so much, Anil sir, for sharing this topic. I think some of the part which I was going to cover was already covered by Anil sir. I am specifically going to talk about digital transformation. And now analytics per se is going to play a key role in the digital transformation journey of the discoms in the state, right? That is the core focus which I'll be talking about today. So when we talk about the current Indian power market scenario, you must have heard a lot of things. So we talked about RDSS, we talked about smart meter deployment, we talked about asset performance and upgradation of IT/OT infrastructure. But what we believe is that based the current regulatory changes which have happened, analytics per se is going to be the Sanjeevani for the Indian power sector. The reason I say that specifically is because over the period of time, a lot of investment has actually gone into the IT/OT infrastructure, right? So to give you an example, from 2003 onwards, we have been hearing about RAP-DRP, right? Then after that, there was IPDS, then there was Uday. There were other initiatives which were run by the government. A lot of money was actually pumped in. What has happened is that the money which has been pumped in has majorly gone into improving the hardware systems of the overall distribution in the transmission space. But now what has happened, this is a saturation point which we have received. And we are at a very key point in our overall history, right? So if you look at the current demand pattern of the discoms right now, you will see there are certain key areas, which are going to contribute heavily to increase the overall demand structure of the country. First one being, there's a lot of talk about $5 trillion economy, right? Honorable Prime Minister always talks about, we have to do double-digit growth, we have to increase our economy, we have to touch $5 trillion ASAP. Now, how do you do that? So there's a concept called GDP electricity elasticity, okay? Now, what does it mean is that if you have to increase the GDP by 1%, the overall consumption and demand has to actually go up by 3 to 4%, right? So if we are expecting a double-digit growth for the next 5 to 10 years in order to achieve that $5 trillion dream, the demand of consumers has to go up proportionately, and that is going to be huge demand. As things stand, like it was discussed earlier, distribution sector in India is a loss-making business, right? And you cannot continue supplying power to the consumers at a loss. So huge number of transformation has to happen there first. Second, the most important part which we talk about, the growth in the industrial sector of the country. There's a huge push towards coming towards the manufacturing sector. We talk about data centers being established. Now, when we talk about the load profile of a data center, it is going to be base load throughout the year, right? And huge loads which are going to come across. So with such heavy loads, the demand pattern is going to be new. There's a big push towards EV sales also. For example, last year, the two-wheeler EV sales was around 1,300% growth from the previous year. So huge push coming towards that also. There's a big push towards solar rooftop also. I think that was touched upon earlier also. The government is really trying to increase the solar footprint in the country, wherein the individual customers are given certain rebates for installing solar panels. In fact, state of Uttarakhand itself, if you install a solar water heater, you get some subsidy on your electricity bill, flat subsidy which you get. So multiple initiatives are being driven, and with the recent regulatory changes in the electricity sector, so Electricity Act has been amended in 2017, and now there will be a distribution licensee and a supply licensee. So the supply licensee has the onus of providing good quality power to the consumers, because going forward they will have an option of changing their licensee also. And with the advent of prepaid meters, you actually can demand good service from the supply licensee, because you are actually paying for it, right? So it is your right to actually ask for that good quality of power. Now, as I said earlier, distribution companies specifically cannot go on running their business on such huge losses. So the buck has to stop somewhere. And I must appreciate them over the period of years with huge investment which have happened in the IT/OT landscape. The losses which were to the tune of 30 to 40% earlier has been brought down to around 20% levels, right? But 20% is still too high. And one point which we miss, so it is just a number 20%. We touched upon the entire value chain of electricity, right? So it goes from left to right. So we generate power, then we transmit power, and then we consume it at the distribution side. That is the most critical part, but something which is more important, which ensures viability of the business, is the other side. That is, the revenue starts flowing from the other end. So distribution companies takes money or collects money from people like you and me, then they pay to the transmission licensees, and then it flows to the generation licensee, from which they can procure coal and everything, and they can supply us the power. So it's a very tightly knitted circle which is there. The biggest chink in this circle is the lack of collection or loss of revenue which is happening at the distribution side, right? If you look at any of the distribution company, they are anywhere losing 20 to 60 paisa per unit on every electricity or any unit which they are selling. It's a huge loss for them. Now, what has happened is that even though they were able to bring those losses down over 15 years to 20%, we have reached a saturation point, right? Wherein even though they are making huge investments, so we talked about RDSS, 3 lakh crore funds are going to be dispersed to distribution companies, but the results will not be proportionate. Now, we have been studying the market from the past 46 years. We are working with power utilities from the past 46 years. We have got specific solutions which are dedicated for our customers in the utility space. We have more than 560 customers. What we see right now is that analytics, and specifically AI ML, artificial intelligence, machine learning, streaming analytics, will be the key to unlocking this value of investment which have been made over the past 20 years. They will be the key going forward. Reason being that you have already got loads of data, right? Loads of data which you have generated. You go to any utility, you'll have a SCADA system in place which will have 15-year data, right? You go to any utility, we have got AMI meters, we have got smart meters, we have got billing systems, we have got CRM applications. If you look at their IT landscape, they'll have anywhere between 16 to 25 applications which have been running from the past 10 years. So huge amount of data is available. Now you have to go from reactive to prescriptive and predictive. That is, you have to predict, which customer is going to default, which customer of mine is actually doing theft, where all I have to work upon to improve my revenue. Those insights have to be drawn. Data mining has to happen on the data. You have all of data available with you. Investing more on billing system will not generate revenue for you, but making sense of the data which you have collected is actually going to drive your revenue going forward. And that is how you can go from 20% current losses to 10% in the future. So that is one area, wherein a specific requirement is there. From transformation standpoint, since that is the theme of today's session, the transformation will start so it's a journey which you have to undertake. I mean, there is no system or nothing in the world which can happen overnight. But if you have to start the journey, we believe there are 4 potential areas wherein you have to start, which are the lowest hanging fruits, wherein you can get immediate ROI. So the first one would be the supply side management, like it was discussed earlier also. That is the power which is being supplied to the customer. I will give you one more interesting number. So the tariff which we pay in our homes, right? That is in distribution terms, it is called cost of supply, right? That is the cost which I'm incurring to supply power to my consumers, right? If you look at the cost breakup of that specific component, around 70 to 80% for every utility in India is constituted by the component called power purchase cost. That is the money which I'm paying to the generation companies for procuring power from them, right? Huge losses. So if you want to reduce your cost, the first thing would be you hit the nail hard, right? Which is the power purchase cost. How do you do that? You have to forecast better. So there is one very important thing in the electricity sector which is very unique to any other utility which we have in India. Electricity cannot be stored, and the quantum of electricity which we are generating cannot be stored anywhere. We do not have that much storage space. So whatever you are generating, it has to be consumed, or else it will be lost in the grid itself. So if you are generating something, you have to know how much demand is there so that you can appropriately match it, and then you can generate revenue out of it. So that is more from forecasting and optimization standpoint. Second, the pricing of contracts. So if you look at the current, as things stand today, the prices of electricity in the exchange, short-term market, it will be anywhere between 12 to 16 rupees. So now the regulator has stepped in and they have made a capping of 12 rupees. But the electricity price which is being sold in exchange right now was around 16, 18 rupees at one point in time. Now we all know how much tariff do we pay. I don't think any one of us in our homes have paid anywhere close to 18 rupees as per unit charge for our electricity, right? But that is what the distribution company is buying it for. So they are incurring a revenue loss of anywhere between 10 to 12 rupees for per unit electricity which is being supplied to us. So they have to forecast better, they have to plan better, and they have to optimize better. For that, they will need an analytics platform which can help them do that. Second most important area would be around the loss detection part. So we hear always about, big losses, big scams happening in the sector, people are not paying their bills and everything. You have to be preemptive to understand, where all collusion is happening. And we talk about crimes, there are multiple kind of crimes, right? There is not just electricity theft. There is revenue leakage which has happened. There is financial crime which are happening. There are administrative losses which are being incurred. all of those losses have to be clubbed upon. You cannot just rely on electricity theft by deploying smart meters. Multiple things have to happen in parallel. In order for all of that to happen, you need to have an analytics platform which can do all these activities for you, address customer grievances. So one insight which I tell you, we were doing a project for one of the utility wherein, very simple, we analyzed that, whenever a customer is raising a complaint regarding his invoice, there's a 50% probability that he's not going to pay for that invoice. So if you are able to address the concern of the customer once you have received the invoice or once you have received the complaint, and the system, the text analytics system is able to tell you that, this customer, there's a probability that it is going to default, you can actually take a preemptive action and ensure that there is no default happening, because money not collected is money lost, right? So such kind of analytics is going to play a key role in the transformation sector. The third one would be the meter analytics portion specifically. Like sir specified, a lot of meters are going to be deployed going forward. We have got lakhs and crores of meters which are being deployed. Now, these meters generate a lot of data, petabytes of data on a daily basis. It is not possible for a human to sit and look through that data, right? You need a data mining platform which will get the data for you and pinpoint those areas who are going to solve your problem. We have to understand that the power distribution companies, they are in the business of power distribution, not data churning, right? The data churning has to happen from the system itself. That is where the analytics platform is going to play a key role. Also, the peak load management part has to be looked upon. So we talked about, ramping and ramping down. If you are able to control your peak demand, your overall cost of power is going to come down significantly. So that is one more area which has to be definitely looked upon. The fourth area would be the asset part. So if you look at the geography of these companies who we are talking about, huge states, right? So Maharashtra as a state is pretty huge. UP, one of the biggest states, Rajasthan, big state. We have got entities which have like largest, supply license areas. What happens here is that the regulator says that, you have to provide 24/7 electricity to each and every consumer, right? There is no provision of any outage which you can take. If you are taking an outage, then there is a penalty which you will have to pay. Now, in order to supply the electricity to every consumer, because it's a service which you have to provide, you have to deploy critical assets in the field, right? Now, there will be distribution transformers, power transformers, current transformers in various parts of the license area. What you have to do is, you have to look at how do you reduce the O&M cost of the customer. Now, if you look at the O&M cost, it is around 10 to 12% of the total cost of supply. So, if you are selling electricity for 100 rupees, 12 rupees is actually going for the maintenance of the equipment which you have deployed. If you are able to do predictive maintenance, maintenance optimization, and fault detection, then you can subsequently bring down the O&M cost. And we have seen, the O&M cost, which was earlier 12%, we were able to bring it back to around 8%, leading to huge cost savings for the customer. All these four cases have to be supported by the data management platform properly. The reason I say that is because, see, you have huge amount of data, right? Now, if you don't have a data management platform with all those IT applications, any system you deploy will be a garbage in, garbage out system, right? So you have to ensure that the data which is actually going into the system is of very high quality. There are certain data quality protocols which are maintained across the enterprise, and then subsequently that is flowing into the analytics engine, and then subsequently the reports are coming out. There is one more point which is very important, which is the visualization layer. That is, how do you consume the analytics which you have created? So for example, if there's a theft detection model which you have created, right, you are able to detect theft. So there is a IT department control center wherein you have identified that these are the top 50 consumers who we believe are doing theft, right? Now that message has to go to your vigilance team. The biggest issue specifically in the sector right now is change management, because we have been doing the same thing from the past 75 years. It is very difficult to change. So we have to change the mode of message which we are giving to our customers, right? So the visualization platform will actually help you give this message in a better way, in a more digital way to the end consumer or to the end lineman who's actually going to go and check these theft cases, and subsequently appropriate action could be taken on top of it. You can actually have an escalation matrix to look at how these alerts are being handled, right? So these will be the 6 major areas wherein the focus is going to be, and this will actually bring about the overall, this will actually improve hugely the overall financial health of the utility and enable them on the digital transformation path. One last example which I would like to highlight is one big customer who we have. We have got a lot of customers in India also, but this one is specifically from loss reduction standpoint. This is one of the biggest utility in Brazil. And if you look at Brazil, why I specifically chose this customer out of 560 and plenty more who we have in India, is because they have majorly like agricultural road, right? And if you speak to any distribution company, they will say that our losses are high because we have agricultural load, and farmers don't pay up, is what they feel. Now, what used to happen in that specific utility, and from size perspective, it supplies to around 12% consumers of the entire country of Brazil. So huge license area, huge set of customers who they are targeting. The losses which they were incurring before they started engaging with us, it is a very recent deal, was around 8,800 crore rupees per year. That was the loss which they were incurring, 8,800 crore rupees per year. And they had invested heavily. I mean, they were the biggest utility. They had invested heavily. They have got everything. DT metering, which we are doing in India right now, it was there. We talk about rural feeders, they were all there. Feeder segregation, already there. Everything was there. But still, 800 crore rupees were being lost on a yearly basis. They took the platform from us. The good bit about platform and any analytics platform, which ideally any distribution company should choose from, there are 2-3 things which you have to look at. One, it should have all the capabilities which are required from data management, from statistical analysis, from data quality perspective, from data flux analysis, from AI/ML capabilities which are required, model management capabilities which are required, and then subsequent visualization capabilities. And it should also be able to detect all kind of financial crimes, all kind of non-technical losses which are incurred. So it could be a financial crime, it could be electricity theft, it could be revenue leakage which is happening, or it could be an administrative loss. All of that has to be incurred, right? All of that has to be at least looked upon. System should have some actionable insights on top of it. So after the deployment of the solution, primarily their initial, before the project, they were...
I may have to play moderator role now. Please close.
I'm just closing it. Thank you. So their overall detection rate initially was around 35%, while after the project was deployed, the detection rate got up to 50%. Subsequently, the overall revenue which we saved was around 90 plus crores per year, which we were saving for them. And this happened within a span of 6 months. So within 6 months of deploying an analytics platform, they were able to save close to 90 crore rupees on a yearly basis, which they were not saving earlier. So that is one good learning, and we can expect a similar return for Indian utility also. We are anyways working with a lot of Indian customers. And that is the first step, I believe, would be very relevant from the digital transformation standpoint and improving the financial health of the overall Indian power market for us. Thank you so much for being such a kind audience and listening to me. It was a pleasure talking to you all. Thank you.